Analysis now on this from Dan Raviv. He's a columnist at Newsday and joins me now live from Perugia, Italy. Dan, as we've just been telling our viewers, Netanyahu looks staged to make a comeback, albeit by a very slim margin. What do you make of that, if the official results do in fact jive with the exit polls?
Well, as of now, more than 80% of the votes have been counted, and Netanyahu's grip on a victory seems even stronger. The Israeli media say apparently Netanyahu and his three coalition partners, those four parties together, have 65 seats. You need 61 for a majority. So it really does look like Netanyahu is making that comeback. He obviously hopes that the fraud and corruption trial that he's been going through will be canceled. Of course, he is willing to work with, what you just heard about, Ben-gvir, the religious Zionist party that is considered to be extreme right. I think Israeli voters have decided that they are afraid of what's happening in the West Bank, captured by Israel in 1967, an upsurge in violence, each side blaming the other, of course. But the result was Israeli voters moved toward the right. And the right in Israel means you don't trust the Palestinian Arabs. You don't want negotiations. You just want to keep the West Bank.
And when we certainly heard the concerns of the Palestinians from our correspondent, Fatan Elwan there in Ramallah, even if Netanyahu does pull out a comeback victory here, do you think he'll be able to set up a coalition? Do you think that will mean an end to the political instability in Israel?
Well, Rachel, as you're pointing out, this was the fifth national election in Israel in just 4 years because the results again and again were inconclusive. This time, if Netanyahu and his coalition partners have 65 seats, it's really just four parties. It's not that messy. I would think that Netanyahu could have power for 4 years. The left in Israel, that's the part of Israeli politics that does want to negotiate with the Palestinians and would like to find a way to get out of most of the West Bank. The left has been struck a very severe blow after a center-left government under Yair Lapid was in command. They have lost power. They've been embarrassed. The left in Israel is very weak right now. That's what these results show.
There was a lot of talk about how this was the fifth election in less than 4 years, a lot of talk about voter fatigue, but that certainly wasn't the case because we saw a huge turnout during the election. Why do you think so many people felt the need to come out and vote after all of these elections?
Yeah, during the day Tuesday, there was a lot of people who thought that since the turnout is high, probably the people want to make sure that Netanyahu does not get back into office. No, it was the opposite. It seems that many Israelis are afraid right now. The threat they feel from Iran and its nuclear power, how they feel about the Palestinians, both in the West Bank and Gaza, the Lebanese front. It all seems dangerous to Israelis. And that's what led to a right-wing victory, including a high turnout.
All right, Dan Raviv in Perugia, Italy. Dan, thank you.